So this is what we call URL or keyword targeting. So a little further, like I was just talking about Walmart, if we've been on Walmart.com, obviously our ad would show up if someone visited Walmart.com. However, it can also show up if we bid it on Walmart.com, but the user searched walmart.com/products.html. All right. So it could pop up even at that time if they skipped walmart.com and for some reason got a link straight to products.html. Our pop-up would still show up as long as our bid is the highest. All right. Now, even a little more interesting is we can target keywords instead of URLs. They're essentially the same in the pay-per-view company's software. A keyword and URL are essentially the same to it. Because once again, it's only looking in that URL search query at the top of the person's browser. So we could bid on Walmart, just the keyword Walmart. Not Walmart.com, just Walmart. So this means our ad could show up on a URL like coupons.com/walmart.html. Our ad will show up because Walmart is within that URL. Alright, so a little bit of an overview. I know this is probably a lot to digest right now. You might have to watch this a few times, but let's just get a quick overview of what we've talked about. So we get paid when a user completes a CPA offer that we promote. So if I'm promoting a $500 Home Depot gift card, or let's say Walmart to stay within our little subject here. If I'm promoting a $500 Walmart gift card and that user fills out that gift card, let's say it asks for an email address, so the user enters their email address and clicks submit. When they click submit, we'll be paid a certain amount of money. For an email submit, like we talked about earlier, that would probably be somewhere around $1.25. So that's when we get paid. However, we have to get that ad in front of the user. Okay, we need to get traffic to our ad. In order to do that, we go to the PPV companies, the advertisement companies, and we pay them to advertise our offer. And those are the companies that we can choose where we want our ads to show up, on what URLs or what keywords. So the trick in this whole concept of PPV traffic to CPA offers is to pay less money on the advertising than the commissions that we bring in from our CPA offers. So to dig a little deeper here, let's say we pay 1.5 cents per view of our offer, and our offer pays out at $1.25 that every time someone completes it. So a little math we can do is we just take the offer payout amount and divide it by our bid amount. And that will tell us how many users we will need for one conversion. So $1.25 divided by 1.5 cents will equal 83.3 visitors or users, or views rather. So that means we'll have to have one conversion for every 83 views in order for us to break even, okay? So we'd be spending the same amount that we'd be bringing in commissions. Now, to turn that into a profit, we'd have to make that conversion rate a little bit better. So if we can get 1 out of every 50 to convert, we'll be making more than we're spending. And basically that's how PPV to CPA works. And that's in its simplest form. So how do we really get started into this? We know the basic concepts of how we make money and how we advertise our offers, but how do we get started? First, you'll need to become an affiliate of a CPA network. Remember, the CPA network is where we get our offers. They're the ones that pay us. Major networks will include Max Bounty, Neverblue, Azoogle, or EWA. There are many, many more. I'm talking hundreds more. There are some that are more reputable than others. And there's others that are private networks. For instance, EWA is considered a private network. However, if you're new to this, I would recommend going to Max Bounty. They pay out. I am an affiliate of Max Bounty. I like them personally. And they've got some great offers for newbies. So if I were you, I would go to Max Bounty's website. I'm not sure the URL. Just go to Google, type in Max Bounty, and you'll need to sign up. So you'll need to apply to that network. And they'll want to speak to you on the phone. This is what most networks will do. They'll want to actually talk to you on the phone. This is just to help them get rid of the people that are going to promote their offers in a bad way. these companies don't want their affiliates to promote them using black hat or, disallowed methods. The companies want to keep their reputation, obviously. So that's why they want to speak to you on the phone. Now, I won't get into too much how to apply to these networks and how to get approved, but they will be asking you questions on how you promote offers. Well, if you're going with this guide, you'll be promoting offers through PPV traffic or contextual traffic. So remember, PPV is pay-per-view, and it also means contextual traffic. You can also talk about PPC, pay-per-click, if you want to use a little Google AdWords, but that's outside of this guide once again. So they might also ask you how much revenue you'll expect to make with the company. If you're a newbie, that's a pretty tough one to answer because if you've never done it before, then it's hard to gauge how much you'll actually be making for the CPA company. Some people will, I guess, lie, to the networks to tell them how much they'll be making in revenue. Personally, I think it's always best to create an honest connection between you and the CPA network because they're basically your business partner. Tell them that you're new to it, but you'll be promoting them with pay-per-view methods, and that you'll run every advertising campaign across them for their approval. And as long as you convey that you are interested in their interests and you're not going to be using black hat methods or anything against the rules, then more than likely they'll let you join the network. Once again, there is more info on the internet on how to get approved to CPA network, so feel free to search Google. There's a lot of information on it. So let's say now that we become an affiliate of a CPA network, so now we can go and choose offers to promote. Well, of course, now we need to advertise our offers through a PPV network. The top three networks are Traffic Vance, Lead Impact, and Media Traffic. Those are the popular ones. I use all three of those. My personal favorites are Traffic Vance and Lead Impact. Traffic Vance will require a minimum deposit of $1,000 to join. Yeah, it's quite a bit of money. They do this, in my opinion, probably just to keep out a lot of the people that aren't too serious about PPV. They want to keep them out of it. They want to keep the serious people into this. So that $1,000 will be your first money to advertise with, though. It doesn't mean that you're putting $1,000 just to join Traffic Vance. No, you'll actually be able to put that $1,000 down towards your advertising costs. All right, now Lead Impact and Media Traffic are the same, but they require a $200 deposit, not $1,000. So it's significantly less. And if I were you, I would start with Lead Impact. I started with Media Traffic. I didn't see too much success, so I switched to Lead Impact, and immediately I saw a difference and actually was able to start making money with Lead Impact. So if I were you, that's where I would suggest you start with.